And live.
Haven't gone live yet.
I want it now.
John.
Well, 16 and a half.
There's some
That's
great
it.
games all day, man. Most of them come on at 11 o'clock, but there's some great games. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, the lines are changing.
Yeah, they are. Hello, college football fans, and welcome to this Saturday, November 21st. We're getting close to Turkey Day edition of College Pick'em with Wes and John. Hope everyone is doing well this Saturday morning. We got a great show scheduled for you guys today. Up there in the corner with the wood paneling in the background is Christian Johnson. In the Memphis shirt is John Sturdivant. I am Wes Pruitt. Thank you guys for joining the show. Fellas, how y'all doing this week, man?
Doing
Pretty
great,
well.
man. Ready for a crazy Saturday, it seems like it's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a pretty crazy Saturday, too. So, John, what did you find interesting that happened last week in college football, man?
Well, let me start off with last night, just a little bit, or the Thursday night in general regarding some football action, because Tulane lost another lead, it looks like, and I was going to get to that regarding my Mr. Spicy, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. But Tulane, lost another lead for the American Athletic Conference. They were up 14-0 at Tulsa, and Tulsa with their third-string quarterback came in and rallied them on a Hail Mary to let the game go to overtime. And Tulane was running the ball pretty well all night on Tulsa. But in a double overtime on 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line,
They throw it.
the rest is history. It was a pick six for Tulsa to win the ball game. If the
That's a
running
crazy
running game is working for you so well, why give it up and basically throw the ball there is beyond me, especially when you're on the road and you got basically 3 yards on 2 downs, basically. Me personally, you don't even take a 19-yard field goal on 4th and goal at the 1. You punch it in on the quarterback sneak from the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
But
Also, John, did you watch that game in its entirety?
I watched the replay of it at 3 o'clock in the morning when I got off work, but yes.
Wow. Okay, all right. So on the last play of the game on that Hail Mary, did you see that player just running defense down the field? He was blocking the guy the whole way down the field. It was a moving screen the whole way down the field. That play was, and then at the very end, he fell down. It was beautifully ran. Once again, man, that Tulsa football team, they just find a way to win. I believe, if I'm correct, that is their 4th 14-point come from behind win.
Yeah, at least. They've had a lot of comeback wins.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It really is.
They came back against SMU, I believe it was, wasn't it? Yeah, 14-0 that one. And I'm just kind of surprised right now in a way. Like, technically, I'm not surprised by these referees that are missing a lot of calls lately, year in, year out lately. Because it's happening every single week. Everybody misses a call, it seems. But another thing, I'm going to talk about is I'm going to go to my spices real quick since we do have a spicy ice.
Hold on.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Christian, what did you find interesting from college football last week?
Well, let's see. I had a couple games in there that I was going to point out, but the most interesting game honestly was I was expecting Penn State to get a win last week, and they just laid an egg against Nebraska. Made a comeback late, but, that was a game where I just felt like Penn State was going to win. But in this crazy year, I guess you can throw, some predictions out the window. They just underperformed greatly in that game, and that really shocks me.
It did.
And
Well,
Arizona
real quick about that
upset.
Penn State game, Christian. I was going to say, we talked about this in our picks. I really thought Penn State would show a little bit more heart
Right.
going into that game for their running back that basically, had that heart condition. They can't play no football no more. But
Jimmy Brown,
hey, but Scott Frost, hey, you got to give him a lot of credit. He defended the home turf and basically got a good win under his belt.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
also-
look at that Penn State football team right now, man. They're just in shambles. I like James Franklin. We talked about it last week with Drew and AJ on the show. Nobody really saw Penn State losing that game. Scott Frost is just he's had a really tough rebuild there at Nebraska. But go ahead, Christian.
Well, also, I was going to say that, I knew Michigan could probably lose, but I didn't expect it to be 49-11.
Right.
And also, I think something that we all found shocking was the firing of Will Muschamp. I guess you could say we saw it coming, but in a year like this, I didn't expect a big name coach to get fired, and I wonder if that's going to be kind of the first domino to get some of these other coaches gone. But he'd been kind of struggling for a while now, and finally they pulled the plug on him after a 59-42 loss to Ole Miss. And that's a lot of points. Giving up 59 points, that's unacceptable, really.
Yeah, and that's actually what my one thing this week was that I found.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
You're fine, man. I'll just piggyback off of what you said. Perfectly fine. Will Muschamp getting fired to me was almost. I mean, I don't want to say it was shocking, but I definitely didn't see it happening in season. I figured it would happen after season, as I think that others will happen as well. But just like you just said, Christian, I think it could be a domino effect, and I think we could possibly start seeing it happening this week. I think if you look at, and we'll get to our who's hot, who's not, and spicy or icy here in just a second, John. I know you're itching to get to it.
I'm waiting.
I know. I think we'll see more dominoes fall. If you look at, and we'll talk about it here in just a little bit, this App State Coastal Carolina team game, I think if you look at both those coaches are auditioning for jobs right now.
Yeah.
But, John, who would you say is a team that's hot right now, and who would you say that a team is not? Who's hot, who's not?
Well, I want to bring up another game from last week that I was going to mention as well real quick. What about the Wake Forest North Carolina game? Wake Forest was actually up 45-24 in that game, and Mac Brown and Riley and company rallied in that fourth quarter and outscored them like 28-7.
Hey, they covered at least. They covered.
Well, yeah, I ended up picking Wake. Yeah,
that was a huge comeback.
It was a huge comeback, and happy for Mac Brown in North Carolina, but I really thought Wake Forest was going to win that game straight up, to be honest with you, because of that running game that Wake Forest had, to be honest with you, in that one. Well, what about TCU only scoring 6 points at West Virginia? That was kind of like a shock in a way to me as well.
I agree with that. I didn't expect them to get shut down like that. Just a crazy year all around, man.
And then you got, I was going to say, what about Vandy? Vandy put up a good fight against Kentucky and only lost by 3. And everybody thought Vanderbilt was basically going to be struggling scoring points against that Kentucky defense. Yeah. Hey, 35 against Kentucky defense, I'll take that all day. But they just fell short in that one.
No doubt.
Yeah. So basically, real quick, what about real quick, Southern Cal and Arizona. Southern Cal rallied back again in that game as well.
I thought I thought they were done in that game. I really did. I thought Southern Cal was going to lose. They fight back again. Fight on is their moniker, and Clay Helton's got those guys believing up there out in California right now.
All right, so basically my hot or not for the – so you want me to do the hot or not, or you want me to do the spicy and icy real quick?
We'll do hot or not, and then we'll do spicy and icy.
All right, my hot is still – I'm going to go with the same team I went last week, the Marshall Thundering Herd. You know, they basically still are competing for the first place in the Conference USA Championship race, and they competed against Middle Tennessee, and they blew out Middle Tennessee, and they were the heavy favorites for a reason, I guess, in that game. And also, I want to give some love to – I also want to give some love to Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana has a good chance today against Ohio State. I know they're a 20.5-point underdogs.
I think that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. If Indiana beats Ohio State, which I'm not saying it's going to happen as of right now, but if Indiana beats Ohio State, I definitely see Indiana possibly playing Wisconsin, maybe in that Big Ten championship. You never know.
Yeah, if you look at the Northwestern Wisconsin game and also the Ohio State Indiana game, this is basically the de facto championship decider right here of the Big Ten. It's going to be fun to watch today. John, who would you say is not a hot team right now?
Oh gosh, Syracuse, man. I want to talk. That's what I was going to get to regarding also my spicy and icy, but I'll go ahead and say it right now for both of them. Syracuse is 1-7 on the year, and I thought Syracuse would definitely have a decent year, although Liberty did beat them at Syracuse. I thought Syracuse would maybe, not saying they'll be finishing in like the top 5, but I thought Syracuse would definitely have maybe like 6 wins or 5 wins in this crazy year. Maybe they'll pull off like 2 upsets. But 1-7 on the year, you know, Dino Babers is basically on my hot seat right now. It didn't show any good yesterday against Louisville. They got beat 30-0 at Louisville against a struggling Louisville team. And you only had 137 total yards in that game, 92 rushing yards, and 45 passing. Come on.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's terrible. And then we talked about third down conversions all year long, Wes. 1 of 10 on third downs. Yeah.
You're not going to win doing that. My hot or not this week, a team who's hot, I mean, I got to go back to Hugh Freeze and the Liberty Flames.
Yeah.
They're just impressive. They're damn impressive what they're doing right now. They got another game today against an ACC team. They could possibly sweep the year against ACC teams. Being an independent, that's huge, obviously, as we know. And, you know, if you go back and look at that Virginia Tech win, for, you know, those of us who follow college football on a regular basis, that's not a surprising win. To the rest of the nation, just like Drew Barrett said last week, that's an embarrassing loss for Virginia Tech and Justin Fuente. I got to say Liberty right now, man. They're just hot as fish grease. They're lighting everybody up. They're scoring points all over the field. That quarterback they got is impressive. My team, who's not, I'll go right back to them, the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm sorry. I just don't know what's going on there. They don't have a lot of fight to them. I just, you know, they got beat by Nebraska last week. And my other one who's not hot is got to be the Michigan Wolverines. When you look at Michigan right now, Jim Harbaugh, and I'll get to it in a minute when I get to my spicy. Jim Harbaugh is just not looking good right now up in Ann Arbor. And it's very, very kind of sad to see, in my opinion. Because, man, when you look at Jim Harbaugh, you look at all the players that are on this team, these are all Jim Harbaugh guys now. You know, you can't say, oh, well, they're not his boys. They are. This is his guys. This is who he recruited to his football program, and it's not working. And I just hate it for him because I think Jim Harbaugh is a good football coach. Christian, who do you got on who's hot, who's not this week?
Hey, Harbaugh hasn't had a quarterback since Jay Patterson.
No, he hasn't. I mean, and that's what I'm sorry to cut you off, Christian. That's what I don't understand. Jim Harbaugh is a heck of a recruiter. Same thing with Nick Saban. You can recruit all these 5-star guys, but you can't get a kicker. If you're Jim Harbaugh, you can recruit all these defensive studs, these offensive powerhouses, these linemen who are amazing. You can't get a quarterback? You're having to bring Shea Patterson in from Ole Miss?
I'm starting to realize this year how important the quarterback position is. It can – you see Arkansas with a Felipe Franks. I mean, the quarterback carousel they've been going through the last 2 years, and they finally get a quarterback, and they win 3 conference games. So it's just amazing what a quarterback will do for your team. But I'll get to my hot pick, which is kind of an obvious pick, but the Cincinnati Bearcats, they on the road today against UCF, which I believe that'll be a test for these guys. I think it'll be I think they're favored, obviously, but, going on the road to UCF is – you're going to have to show up for that one. But, if they can get by UCF, I like their chances of winning out and running the table. And just can't say enough about that team. I don't – who would have thought Cincinnati would be ranked? I mean, 2020 for you.
I knew they would be ranked just because, obviously, with John and I being Memphis fans, we've been pretty much following Cincinnati since the 90s. This Cincinnati team is good. Luke Fickell is a heck of a football coach.
Yep.
I don't think you can – I don't take anything from him. I like Luke Fickell. He's done a heck of a job at Cincinnati. And I think if you're Luke Fickell, you don't go anywhere. I mean, you're building something really nice at Cincinnati. They're a good football team, John. I mean, I can't take anything from them.
I mean, I thought they would be ranked, maybe during the year with the COVID year. No, I was going to say with the COVID year, I maybe thought they would probably be maybe top 15, but not no top 10. But I guess their record speaks for itself, and their defense is legit also, only giving up 12.5 points per game. And I tell you what, Desmond Ridder has proved me wrong this year completely. He's got so much stronger, it seems, and he's been in the weight room it seems. But, we'll definitely find out. We'll definitely find out today when they travel down to Orlando in a 15,000 feet stadium when people are just jumping all over you.
Bounce House is a wild place, Christian. Go ahead.
My not hot team, which they didn't play last week, but still kind of just off the rails. They've on a 4-game losing streak. The Tennessee Volunteers going to Auburn today. Yeah. It's hard to be positive, especially if you're a Tennessee fan, but, just looking at what's going on in Knoxville, the quarterback situation, the coach drama, there's just a lot going on. I don't see them getting that win today, and I see it, continuing to be a disappointing year for the Volunteers, who may not get another win until Vandy.
Well, the real question is for Tennessee today: who's actually going to be the starting quarterback?
Yeah,
going into that game with Jimmy G having a concussion, the last 2 weeks. But my question is, though, I've been telling you, Wes, I talked about this in the pregame over my SEC predictions. The offensive line is by far right now the most overrated, SEC offensive lineman there is, in this conference right now.
Tennessee?
Yeah. Completely. Yeah. John and I talked about it at the very beginning of the year, Christian, and I said this team is going to live or die by its quarterback play. And that's exactly what's happened this season. Jared Garantano is not a good quarterback. I'm not taking any – I understand there's Tennessee fans that watch this show, and we appreciate the fans, but I'm just being honest. Jared Garantano is not a good quarterback. I think if you look at this roster and look at who's on that team, the Harrison whatever his name is, Harrison, whatever, the young freshman that came in last week. I think
Harrison Bailey or something like that?
Yeah, Harrison Bailey, whatever his name is. I think that's the kid that needs to take the reins for this football team. moving forward. I think if not, I think Jeremy Pruitt's in trouble if he doesn't move. I think it could possibly cost him his job.
There's a lot of talent on that team too.
Oh yeah, but I mean, speaking of Tennessee, if you look at, there was a story came out, I believe it's this week. Sent it to me. Phil Fulmer actually got a pay raise, and no one talked about it. There's things internally that's happening in Tennessee right now that is just very, very questionable.
Their standards have dropped. What Tennessee used to be, they're not even close to that anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And their running game has definitely not impressed me the last few games as well with Eric Gray and Ty Chandler. I know Ty Chandler's not been 100% healthy, but there's something going on with this running game that I don't know if it's between Chavis and the play calls or, I don't even know right now because like we talked about last week, all these 7 assistant coaches decided not to take a pay,
The first half against Arkansas was they ran the ball great, but it's like they just either Arkansas adjusted or something in the second half. And they just didn't run the ball well.
Guys, do you want to go ahead and bring on our guest for the day?
Sure thing.
All right, here we go. He's connecting the audio. Today we have a very special guest, a guy that I remember him for sure. I know John does as well. Former Memphis Tiger, one Mr. Darren Garcia. Thank you very much for being on the show, sir.
No problem.
What's up, D?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
Darren, let me ask you, we just got through doing our little segment called Who's Hot, Who's Not, and that is just basically a team who's hot right now in college football and a team is not. And then also we have a segment called Spicy or Icy, and that is just a coach that seats a little warm and a coach that's not. Give me your who's hot, who's not, and who's spicy and icy.
Who's hot right now is Indiana. University of Indiana right now. I don't think they've ever been as highly ranked as they are right now. They play Ohio State today, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And who's not, I think former Memphis coach is on the hot seat right now at Florida State.
Yeah. He dodged a bullet today.
Yeah, he did. He dodged a bullet today. And just for the fans that don't know, that game was postponed this morning.
Yeah, it was. I saw it. It was postponed.
Clemson rolled out due to health issues, which I understand. You want to make sure everybody's safe.
Right.
Hey, Darren, right now, Mike Norvell, I don't think, and I'll get into more of this when we get into that game, but yeah, Mike Norvell's having issues.
Yeah, I mean, he going down there thinking it's gonna be like Memphis was, but I don't think the players bought in yet. Like coming into a situation where you're going to a Power 5 school, it's like a totally different world than being a Memphis or a Cincinnati or a South Florida. You go down there and it's like a different story. You got a lot of alumni on you. You got a lot of boosters on you. It's like he got a lot on his shoulder now. He's just not. It ain't working out the way we all thought. Well, I didn't think it was gonna work out, but it ain't working out right now.
Who would you say is a coach on the hot seat right now and a coach that's seats maybe cooled off a little bit?
I think Jim Harbaugh is on the hot seat right now. Definitely. I think they are definitely ready to move on from him. And he's one of my favorite coaches because what he did with San Francisco that year, or those years he was San Francisco, and then the way he turned around the program in Michigan, you know what I'm saying, and made them a team to compete with. They just couldn't beat Ohio State.
Now they're not beating teams they should beat.
Yeah, now they're not beating teams they should beat. So you can't beat Ohio State, that's one. But now you can't beat teams you should beat. Now you gotta get out of here. I think by the end of the year he'll be gone.
We'll find out. We'll find out today against Rutgers.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out.
Yeah, if he
They
loses
could
to
lose that.
Rutgers, I wouldn't even let him on the team bus. I just tell him go.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You lose to Rutgers, it's over for you. It's done. But I think guys that Ja has cooled off would be cooled off.
We ask the tough questions on this show, Darren.
I say yeah, cooled off. I think Lane Kiffin's job cooled off when he beat who did he beat the other
South
day?
Carolina.
Last week.
South Carolina. I think it'd have been ugly if he'd been like one and whatever. But I think after that one win in South Carolina, they kind of cooled it off a little bit. I think his first year, so.
Yeah. Wes, I'll give you another cool off. Clay Helton at Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Clay Helton was my receiver coach in college.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, at Memphis, he was my receiver coach.
So speaking of your Memphis days, Darren, give us as fans, listeners, give us just your most exciting moments as a Tiger.
Most exciting moment would be going to the bowl game, the first bowl game we've been to in 32 years. It wasn't even about playing. It wasn't about the game. It wasn't about playing. It wasn't about none of that. It was about how the fans reacted, how the city reacted towards us being the first team to go to a bowl game in 32 years. It was like the fans were phenomenal. Like everywhere we went, everybody knew us. It's very rare in football that people know you without your helmet on. Like they know your number, but they don't know your face.
Right.
That year, where we went, they knew who we were by face. The Highland 100 really put us out there, you know what I'm saying, to let us be known by face. And the way the city, surrounded us and backed us up was amazing. And, just going to the bowl game was cool, but actually winning the bowl game, that made it, the best way to leave as a Tiger, I believe.
Yeah, that was your senior year in 2003 when we beat North Texas, right?
Yep.
And Daryl Dickey. Yeah, so basically, yeah. Unfortunately, that was the only winning season that we really had, with you in your 4-year career because you started out. You started out with Rip Shear at 4-7 on the year, 2-5 in the conference. Sophomore year, 5. Yep. Sophomore year you finished 5-6, and then junior year 3-9, and then like you talked about just a second ago, 9-4 your senior year, and that's when you had a good year also your senior year with 26 receptions for 367 yards on that year as well.
The crazy part about it was, I hear you say my sophomore year was 5-6. But we had 2 games my sophomore year that made us bowl eligible, and we lost in the last minute. We lost to Houston in overtime, and we lost to Cincinnati, I think. Was it Cincinnati? We lost. It was a 4th down and 27.
Yeah, I was at that game.
Cincinnati Hail Mary. Yep, Cincinnati Hail Mary. I remember it. I was there.
4th and 20. And that would have made us bowl eligible. 4th and 27, my sophomore year, we were 5-5. Would have been 6-5 going to the bowl game. We ended up 5-6. 4th and 27, Hail Mary. Beat us. Yep.
Hey, Darren, what about you, Darren?
Go ahead, John.
I know, Darren, you want to bring up your first. I know your freshman year was kind of like a disappointment, but hey, just going into Tennessee and playing them to the 19-17 ball game in that first year,
Yeah, we had a good defense. We just didn't have a great offense. That year was like my freshman year. I played as a true freshman, and the one moment I always remember was we kicked the ball off with 2 minutes left. We was up 17-16, right? Kicked the ball off. I'm on kickoff team that time. Why? I don't know why I was on kickoff team. I was like the smallest person out there, but I'm on kickoff team. So, and I missed the tackle, and they ended up running to the 40-yard line on their end, running all the way back to 40. And I never forget, I was beat myself about that. And I said 5 plays later, it's 3rd down, boom, cool. Time running down, 3 minutes left, kick a field goal to win. And it was one of those games, it was foggy as I don't know what out there. It was foggy, it had missed the whole day. And we play in Tennessee. We up by 1. Billy Kennedy had just scored a touchdown for us to make us go up. And they come back, kick the ball off, they're running back to the 40. 5 plays later, kick field goal to win. But we were sick. And then the following year, we go down to Tennessee and jump on the tee and get beat like 51-12 or something like that.
Yep. But I was so glad y'all were jumping on that. Man, I love that.
Man, we jumped on the tee and they killed us. Dante Stallworth, one of the receivers, it was his birthday. He had 5 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Talk
you
about
can't do that.
Yeah. Talk about your Conference USA days, like maybe your like favorite road trips you went on as a Tiger.
Cincinnati was definitely that in New Orleans. Tulane, Cincinnati. Cincinnati was because we got one here now, I think. Weston. We didn't have a Weston back then. But the Weston Hotel was the best hotel I had ever been to in my life. And Cincinnati had one downtown, so we stayed. Best hotel ever. Best pillows, best beds, blanket comforters. 1,000% the best hotel we ever been in. And it's crazy now, I think about it, because we got one downtown now in Memphis. And we didn't have a Weston back then. And the next one's New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans was the best. Tulane.
Superdome.
Man, the best road trip ever. Because we stayed literally on Canal Street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right on Canal Street. Like, the best road trip ever. I mean, I went to Army. Army was dope. I ain't gonna lie. Army was very dope. It was like, the scenery is like amazing because it's in the mountains in New York.
Right.
Army was like, Army was cool. Where's we go? I think the farthest we went was maybe Army.
Now, did you play? I know back in the 90s, Rip went and played at Michigan. Was that before your time?
Yeah, that was before me. That was
That was during my cousin Brandon's era.
Okay.
Yeah, that was B Tuck area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was they also played at Michigan State back in the day when my cousin played as well.
But they were the USC. They were the USC too one year.
And won.
And won and beat you. My head coach now was on their team. Coach Michael was on their team. They beat USC.
Really?
Yeah. Fans that don't know this, Chris Michael is the head coach at Middleton Central High School, where Darren Garcia now is the offensive coordinator at his alma mater, Middleton High School.
Yeah.
So I was gonna introduce him as that as well. But hey, Darren, I want to talk about maybe your high school days a little bit in general as well. With since you're from the Memphis area in Middleton, as you played with my other cousin Justin a little bit as well.
Right.
But talk about what y'all have done so far as a coach. As like last year, for example, y'all won the region championship under one of our guests that we're going to have later on this afternoon, your quarterbacking, Tommy Clifton, which we're going to have on later on. But talk about what you've done as a coach at your alma mater than playing back in the day. Compare the two now from back in when you played and your coaching nowadays.
The crazy part about it is I came in as a freshman and we were like a powerhouse when I came in. 9th grade, I was like, hoping that I get called up from freshman to play on varsity, but I never got called up because like we was a powerhouse. We were beating teams like big teams. I remember we played my sophomore year. We played what's the name of the team in Mississippi? We didn't beat them. Sapanola. We didn't beat them now, but we were up like 14-7 though on Sapanola. And then they came back and just killed us. Because I remember the running back was Griffin then. He went to Mississippi State. Yeah. So it's just coming off a powerhouse that my brother played there also. My brother was on the first 10-0 team in school history. So in 93. So my brother played there. So me going into there, and from 93, 94, 95, they were good. Then they fell off a little bit, and they came back in like 97, 96, 97, 8-9 wins. 98, we won. We was 8-2, which 8-2 to us was not a good year. We lost to Mumford, and we lost Sapanola. Then going to my junior year, we were 2-8.
Wow.
So I take over starting quarterback my senior year because Jonathan Maley was the quarterback my junior year. He got hurt. And I was the backup, so I ended up having to play running back or whatever. Quarterback. So I go into my senior year and started quarterback, and it was like in my mind, kind of like Tommy's situation. Come off a 2-and-some season or 4-and-some season, and my senior year I'm starting at quarterback. I don't have no offers. I don't got nobody really looking at me. It's either bust or go home season.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this until I got out of high school, but I was like one of the number one safeties rated in high school at the time. Didn't know it at all. Like now, they have so many avenues to know what they're rated, who's watching them, who's looking at them, so many camps they can go to. Back then, I went to one camp, I think. I went to Ole Miss camp. I was personally invited to Ole Miss camp, which that's why I thought I was going to sign with Ole Miss. They recruited, their own team, they recruited me heavily throughout, like from 11th grade, 12th grade. And I didn't make my ACT score in time, and they kind of fell off. And then Memphis came in late. And I had other schools like, Delta State or Eastern Illinois, Western Illinois. But the difference between then and now is we went through a period in Millington where we didn't have to play – they didn't have to play both ways. Like, they had enough kids on the team to only play one side of the ball.
Mm.
When I played there, no. We played offense, defense, kick return, punt return. I even kicked field goals at first my senior year. We don't have the luxury like Mumford had the luxury of having all those kids that, like, they always had more kids than us. So it was always a difference. And us beating Mumford was a big deal to us because Mumford always had more kids, more linemen, more athletes, more all that.
Yeah, the M&M Bowl. But did they play Rocky Top back in the day also?
Yeah, they did play Rocky Top.
Wow, they still do today.
They played Rocky Top. I'll never forget, we played them at Mumford my junior year. And, like, in my mind, we played them my sophomore year, we played them at home. And my junior year, we went there. They played Rocky Top coming out to. But, at the time, I ain't going to never say to nobody else.
Yeah.
At the time, though, I was like a diehard Tennessee fan at one time. Peerless Price, Deion Grant, Sid Wilson, T. Martin. I was a diehard Tennessee fan. But they didn't recruit me. So, and then I went to Memphis, so I can't like Tennessee no more after that.
Nope. Once you put on the blue and gray, anything UT goes away. I promise you.
But you know what? Y'all see, Tommy's coming on here later on. There's one kid, though, that I always talk about. Like, if I got anything to say good about anybody, well, I talk good about people sometimes. But I had nothing good to say to him to his face for a very long time as far as coaching him. He knew that. But our relationship grew because of that. And I kind of coached him like Coach West coached us. He never gave us compliments. He never patted us on the back, told us good job. He always had something negative to say, even though we did something good. And that's how I coached Tommy at first. Like, he's like, damn, can I do anything right? And I was like, I'll let you know. And going to his senior year, I told him, I said, they don't know you. They don't know your name at all. You got to prove yourself and get your name out there. And after the first game, I told him, I said, I'm gonna treat you totally different this year. I'm gonna treat you like I'm gonna play you not like a quarterback. And he was like, what you mean by that? I said, just watch. You'll have almost 2,000 yards rushing. You may have between 800 and 1,100 yards passing, maybe. But you won't be treated like a quarterback. He didn't get that at first. He's like, I don't get what you mean. Like, I've been using you differently. I've been using you the wrong way. Like, his junior year, I should have used him the same way I used him his senior year, but I didn't. Because I had one of the best receiver corps I've had there in a long time. So I was trying to throw the ball. And we had a good running back as well. But our schedule was just so hard as far as we've been a small school that's in 4A. And we play in schools like Carterville. We can't mess with Carterville. So going to his senior year, I told myself, I'm going to use you differently. And he didn't get it at first. And so after we played Liberty Tech, he had like 105 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns rushing and 1 passing touchdown. He like, okay, I get it now. He had maybe 12 attempts rushing. We go to play Mumford, worst game me and him both had. I had a terrible game as far as calling plays. He had a terrible game as far as, you know what I'm saying, he threw he had a fumble early in the game on a run, threw a pick next play. He had 3-4 turnovers in the first quarter. And he'll tell you this. He cried. Yeah, he won't tell you this. He came to the side like he was crying first quarter. Crying. And I jumped down his throat. And I was like, man, you got to get it together. Like, seriously. We ended up losing the game 12-6 to Mumford, which we should have beat them. They had a long run. It was 6-0 for the longest. They had a long run. About the full being on wing T or whatever back then. They had a long run. Scored. And after that, I said, Tommy, I'm gonna change everything up. We go play MLK North Point. Tommy ended up averaging 226 per game after that. 3-4 touchdowns. I said, now this is where I want to use you. I changed the whole offense up after the second game of the season, I changed the whole offense up.
The game that reminds me that he was on the radar as well was that FACS game last year.
Yeah.
When there was a shootout, Wes. I should have seen a video of that game because it was 59-46 type ball game, but I don't remember how I scored that one.
And
that
that quarterback was really good though. He was really good. And we knew that though. Going into how good he was because he was in Memphis area, he was number 5 top recruit in Memphis. And Tommy wasn't on the list at all. So we knew he was he was being recruited as a junior. The year before they had 1,000 rushing, 1,000 passing. And in high school, that's that's top tier. If you got 1,000 rushing, 1,000 passing as a quarterback, and he 6'4". He had, in my mind, I thought he should have had way better offense than he had. He could throw it too.
Yeah. And Wes, that game, it had 1,000 yards rushing combined between the two quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is my favorite style of football. The team that I'm currently living in Crossett, Arkansas, a little small town in southeast Arkansas, and the quarterback Crossett won last night their playoff game. The quarterback they've got, man, he can chunk the football, but he's very athletic. They run a lot of power leads with him, things like that.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun to watch, and he's only a junior, so he'll be coming back next year. But they're playing the Monticello team, Monticello, Arkansas, this week in the playoffs. Should be a very good game.
Hey, did Barley win last night?
Yeah, they won 35-7 over Carterville.
I know you just eating it up, ain't you?
Man, I don't know. Hey, West had a coach named Joe Cody back in the day. Yeah. And I know, Joe since the Memphis days as well. But, hey, now we got Brentwood at home to play it in the semifinals. It's going to be tough.
Eat it up. So, is this the second year y'all go? Well, first year y'all win, second time y'all go?
Well, we got to beat the team from Nashville first, and I'm hoping, that we protect our home field at first of all, because we know darn well the state champ. If we do go past Brentwood, we got Maryville or Oakland, and we know those are definitely two top powerhouses in 6A football. So real quick, when you were at Millington, did you play when there was the 14-13 back-to-back years against Bartlett?
Yeah.
Or no?
You remember my junior year, Ron Nurse was running back. My senior year, I had Marlon Jones.
Yeah.
Alex Kane won. Let me tell you something about Alex Kane. So me and Alex Kane, we knew of each other or whatever. And Alex Kane, the name already, he got a football name. So he was a linebacker at Bartlett. Yeah. So we knew about each other, whatever. So their whole game plan was stop me. Mind you, back then we running the power. I ain't like I'm running like the zone read. I played the wrong era, honestly. If I played the era that Tommy played in or the offense Tommy played in, I would easily had 2,500 yard rush easily. I played in the era where I had to drop the ball on purpose, pick it up and run it to get my rushing yards. Our offense was a 3-man eye, power football, straight down the hill. But we played Bartlett though, and Bartlett went to state this year though. Went to the state and lost the state championship game with Marlon Jones. They had Alex Kane. They had there's a few more guys I know went to Bartlett. And for back-to-back years, they beat us by like 1 point.
Yeah, that's the 1999. They went in the state semifinals and played like Greenfield or something like that.
Yeah, yep.
But
I mean,
I actually played under Joe Riccone when he coached at Rossville Christian Academy. It was his first head coaching job on the staff, and then I don't know if you know a guy named Adam Joyner. He played at Collierville back in the day, and then he also played at UT Martin in his collegiate career. But I'm really glad to see Joe back at Collierville. I think that was a good hire by Collierville to get a hometown guy. I mean, let's be honest, he's a hometown legend in Collierville.
He is. He ain't like Matt Shelton, but he's a hometown legend though.
Right. Yeah. He's not Coach Cox legend in Collierville, but he's I think he can keep that program afloat for sure. I think they're doing good things in the Ville, I guess is what they call it.
I want to tell you an interesting story about me and Darren Garcia real quick before we do our picks. But in my 8th grade year, I was at the Bartlett Millington football game because my cousin and him were playing against Bartlett. And I was hanging out with Darian Walker back in the day because we went to middle school with him,
Yeah.
And because his mom was the basketball coach, I believe, at Millington back in the day as well during that time. Yeah. But right after the game got over, I went on the field, and I told my cousin Justin and Darren were both there staying beside each other. And Darren and I brought this up this week. But Darren said to Justin, my cousin, he's like, who's this guy wearing all Bartlett stuff on my field right now? And I'm like, well, this is where I'm going to go to high school. And Darren's like, no, we got to get you some black and gold.
Black and
red
gold.
and blue. And I'm like, no, I'm Bartlett. Sorry. But Justin's like, yeah, I try to tell my cousin, not to wear red and blue on this sideline, but we had to do something.
But but the crazy part about it is that was your 8th grade year, but in 2019, he still come down the field with red and blue on.
Oh, he don't care. John does not care.
Literally, we played FACS, I think, or North Point, one of them teams, because both of them were shootouts. He comes down there with Bartlett pullover on again.
Yeah, he don't care. John does not care.
Doesn't care at all. Everybody's like, who is with this Bartlett I was like, don't even worry about this. That's my guy. That's my guy. Why he got a Bartlett pullover? Look, you can tell when Bartlett ain't winning. He'll come to a Milton game and be like, oh, we're probably gonna lose this week. I didn't want to see that.
Yep. Until Coach Tucker came along. Yeah.
And look, now they projected the number 1 team in Memphis. Ugh. God. We played talking about God.
Are you ready to pick some games this week, Darren?
Yep, I'm gonna do horrible. I always do horrible at picking college games. So.
All right, John, you want to get it cranked up?
I'm gonna go with the hard one right off the bat, Darren. Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bearcats. Traveling to good old Orlando, Florida, and play the UCF Knights.
Yeah, they play UCF. I'm going with Cincinnati. Definitely. I'm gonna tell you why I'm going with Cincinnati. Cincinnati quarterback is a sleeper quarterback. He can run and he can throw. And people don't see that about him though. They don't think he can throw and they can run the ball, but he can run and throw the ball. UCF, defense always been shaky. Always. They always give a lot of points. They can score, but they give them a lot of points as well. I think Cincinnati wins this one. I'm gonna tell you what score. Yeah, I think they'll cover the spread. I think Cincinnati's gonna win. They'll cover the spread. I don't get a number. They'll cover the spread, I believe. What is it, 5.5?
Yeah, it's 5.5 still. And an interesting fact on that, I didn't really realize this, but Ritter's actually thrown the ball over 1,400 yards, and good old Gabriel throwing over 2,700 yards. And Cincinnati's defense, like you said, is legit. They're only averaging 12 points per game in that.
Legit. If they shut down a Memphis offense that can put up averaging 36, 28 points, whatever it is, they're going to shut UCF down. I guarantee that.
Oh, yeah. I think when you look at today's game, the key is defense for me.
Mm-hmm.
We know both of these teams can score, at an obnoxious rate.
Yeah.
Central Florida has got just world-class speed. They've had it ever since Scott Frost. Now Josh Heupel. who I'm not really a big fan of as a coach. I don't think he makes very good in-game adjustments. I've always
No, he don't.
about him. I think this game comes down to defense, and Cincinnati, as we know, has got an elite defense this season.
Elite.
They're shutting down everybody. Everything you do, they're going to shut it down.
They can run sideline to
Hell
sideline.
of a quarterback. Yeah,
Look,
I completely
They
agree.
can run sideline to sideline. They got probably one of the best secondaries in football right now.
Yeah.
And when I say lockdown, they have one of the best lockdown corners in football right now.
Yeah.
And they need to expand the playoffs so they can get them in here.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Now,
There's-
if they lose today, y'all can blame me because I got too much confidence in them. Blame me if they lose.
Well, I got Cincinnati too, so you're not the only one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Christian?
we all taking Cincinnati. Now, if they lose, we jinx.
Something tells me this could be their slip-up game, but nothing's really – from what I've seen, I just don't see it happening. It would truly be an upset if they lost today.
Yeah, it will. I in my mind, when I saw the spread of 5.5, I was like, I think they're gonna win by at least 10 to 14. That's me.
But
Yeah, I mean, it was a pick'em game early in the week.
It
That's what
was.
kind of surprised me.
It was a pick 'em game earlier, and they had that 5.5. I was like,
give
All
me
right, maybe they know
Cincinnati
something
by
about-
7.
Cincinnati by 7. All right, so we all take Cincinnati.
yeah, Cincinnati.
Up next, we've got Arkansas State traveling to Texas State today to take on the 1-9 Bobcats. A little bit of a Memphis connection in this game. Of course, we've got Lincoln Pear, heck of a running back. Arkansas State, the kid's impressive, man. Just the other day, my boss, who living in Arkansas, of course they follow Arkansas State, but he even made a comment. He said, "Man, that running back Arkansas State guy is a stud." And I said, "Oh yeah, Lincoln Pear is one of the most talented running backs that's come out of the city of Memphis in quite some time." The line is only Arkansas State 5. Arkansas State's 3-5 this season. Give me Arkansas State to cover that and win the game today.
Yeah, I'm going to Arkansas State on this one. I would have never, I'm gonna say this out loud. I know this might sound bad when I say this. I would have never, in my mind when I hear Texas State, I think about necessary roughness. Wasn't they Texas State in the movie?
Yeah.
But the colors are totally different though. But I think about that. I was like, ain't no way in hell. I ain't never seen them play until I watched them play. Like one of the first games after of the season. They played like
BYU or something.
BYU.
Yeah,
They played BYU.
Yeah.
And I was like, Texas State, but the quarterback, they would put up the quarterback like he was all this and all that. Cool, whatever. Arkansas State definitely should win. Oh, and speaking of Lincoln, though, very underrated running back as far as recruitment wise. You don't have all those yards for nothing.
Right.
I think in my mind, I would like to see him go to, because I watched him at the All-Star game because I went out there at the All-Star game. I didn't know he's definitely smaller than I thought as far as seeing him in person. He was smaller than I imagined, but as far as athletic ability, he is definitely a stud though. Definitely. He could have easily played slot anywhere and running back. Easily. I ain't gonna say he should have went to a D1, but he could have definitely, not big D1, not Power 5, but he could have definitely went to how Memphis don't pick him up, I don't understand.
I was getting ready to ask the same question.
But Memphis don't do a good job.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, but Memphis don't do a good job at recruiting running backs out of their own city at all anyway. So they recruit defense and receivers from Memphis. They don't recruit running backs normally.
Why is that?
They recruit linemen as well.
I mean, why not? I mean, there's stud running backs all over Memphis. I mean, they finally went and got Granberry, which I've heard some conflicting stories on him as far as his off the field issues, and I coached him in youth football at Bartlett. Kylan's mom's an amazing woman. Kylan's a great kid that I know of. I can't for what he's done after he left the Bartlett youth program, but I don't understand why he's not on the field for the Tigers. to me, he's too big of a weapon not to have on the field.
I was gonna ask you, was he still on the team, because I ain't seen not an inkling of him on that field. I know he's signed out of.
He's
He's still on the
roster.
roster. I think they've got him as some type of injury. Obviously it's a nagging one.
Man, when I tell you that somebody that can play, he was by far one of the best running backs I've seen that I've coached against.
Yeah.
Him, it was a kid from Liberty Tech that was good.
That was that quarterback, right?
No, not the quarterback that year. They had a running back the year after that.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Bush, Granberry, and I always throw Roland in there because I coach Roland, but I always throw Roland in because I feel like Roland was a very underrated running back as well. There ain't no way in the world you got 2,000 yards rushing, 40 touchdowns, and you don't get recruited by Memphis at all.
Right.
Yeah, Roland Genesee back in the day.
Yes. Like, how do you not – like, I don't get this. I just don't understand. But you know what? I'm going to tell you a story. Not a story. I'm going to tell you a reason why kids at Milton don't get recruited, or in even Mumford, or even Covington. By recruiters coming to the city, right, they start out at the Carterville, Germantown, Cordova, Ridgeway, White Station, Centrals, Melrose. They here. By the time they get down to Millington, they didn't see all the players they need to see.
Right. Exactly.
Because we're north. They coming out of the city, going up towards Nashville now. They just stopped just to say they stopped. They didn't see all the kids in the inner city that look good. Stats might not be good, but they look good. You get to Millington, you see a kid that's 5'9", 5'10". No, the stats don't matter at that point because they seen what they wanted already in the inner city.
You're 100% correct on that.
Agree. They already seen what they wanted to see. Like I in my mind, you might have some linemen with the Mumford that probably went to a big name school, but you don't have no skill players from Mumford, Covington, Ripley, Dyersburg that's going to no real D1 colleges because they seen it all already. And that's how it is everywhere they go. They go to the inner city first, and they come out to the outer city, to the suburbs next.
Christian, who you got, man? Arkansas State or Texas State?
Arkansas State. Arkansas State. I've always been a fan of that program. I like what they do there ever since they had Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
But I look at Texas State's record. They're 1-9. I don't see them getting a win today against Arkansas State. That's a lot of losses.
Their 1-9 though is all like pickup games though. Like you know what I'm saying, reschedules.
Oh.
It is.
Yeah, they're I don't think they're playing their original schedule. They're doing the the rescheduling because of COVID, and they were all their games have been like rescheduled games. They shouldn't play as many Power 5 or top tier D1 schools as they've been playing.
Yeah, but it's with this COVID year, it's been crazy.
Yeah, man.
What's your first game on your list?
Mine, UCLA, Oregon. That's an interesting matchup to me. UCLA with a surprising win over Cal last week, a big win.
Mm-hmm.
And Oregon, took care of business against Stanford. Oregon should win this game, but something tells me UCLA will keep it close. Oregon's actually a 17.5-point favorite coming into this game, but and they could very well cover that, but give me UCLA to cover that and lose. Oregon's going to get the win.
This game is very interesting. Of course, we all know the whole tie-in with Chip Kelly. The job he did at Oregon back in the 2000s was literally game-changing. In that hurry-up offense in the 2000s, it changed the game, both on the collegiate level and at the NFL level. Now that we see the guy, our likes like Kyler Murray, Jackson at Baltimore, different stuff like that. I think that the win last week may have saved Chip Kelly's job at UCLA.
Yeah.
I think UCLA was getting a little tired of Chip Kelly. But saying all that, I think UCLA can possibly win this game today. And I know that's shocking to hear, but Chip Kelly's got this game circled, highlighted, lasers around it. I mean, he wants this game. And that quarterback at UCLA, it's 3 letters. It's like FTR or something like that. But the guy can play. Dorian Kennedy Thompson or whatever his last name is. Give me UCLA in this game today.
Really?
Is that
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a bold pick.
You going on a limb on that one? You taking UCLA to
win outright.
To win,
Hey, y'all,
not the spread, just to win.
Yeah, I'm taking UCLA to win this game today. It might not be pretty, but it's a win.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
That's a bold.
If I had money on it, I wouldn't bet UCLA. But
It's a bold move, Cotton. It's a bold move.
That's a bold move. I'm gonna go with Oregon to win, but I don't think they're gonna. If they cover the spread, it'll be late. It'll be late in the 4th. If they cover the spread, I don't think it'll be a blowout at all.
Who you got, John? Oregon or UCLA?
I'll take Oregon. Sorry about that, guys. My internet had a small outage for like a second.
Gotcha.
Dadgum Comcast internet.
Nope, more like AT&T this time around.
Oh, AT&T.
No.
All right, John, who you got up next on your list?
Well, real quick, I was going to also say, another part that back in the day from Millington that was kind of underrated that should have got more offers, but it ended up at Arkansas State was Tayshaun Holmes, the running back from Millington.
Yeah, Big Holmes. Yeah.
Good old. Let's go with the Indiana at Ohio State game next. Ohio State's 20.5-point favorites.
20.5.
That's why I'm not good at college football right there because there ain't no way in hell you will. They very well. You know what? I'm gonna pick a bold pick. I'm gonna go first. I think Ohio State gonna cover the spread today.
You think they will?
Yeah, I think they will.
They're a good team.
I think they will.
Very well could. Indiana's. I like what they're doing too, but they're still Indiana in my mind.
Exactly.
I mean, they're a lot better than they usually are, but they still got to go to Ohio State and beat.
And play at Ohio State, which is not easy.
So there's no fans in that game now.
Well,
Against a very good Justin Fields quarterback.
Yeah, Justin Fields could be the Heisman. He's that good.
I remember watching him on QB1, and yeah, he's legit.
Justin Fields is good. We know
How did that
Ohio
not work
State
out
is
at Georgia?
good.
I don't see how that
It did not work out in Georgia. No,
Kirby
I
Smart.
think
I think
Georgia's got
Kirby
other
Smart
issues.
cannot manage. I think it's something with Kirby Smart. Honestly.
What? Or he might have talked to what's his name and knew he was gonna be a 4-year. He thought he was gonna be a 4-year player and thought he wasn't gonna play until his senior year.
It's true.
Why not though? Is my thing.
Because what's his name is a game manager. He's like a typical NFL quarterback in a lot of college system mind, and he was gonna start every year he's there because he's a game manager. Even though he's not great, but he has a great knack for managing the game. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. What is the name? What's the guy's name? That was Georgia quarterback. Brom. Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
Like he's a game.
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, he's a typical NFL in an NFL recruiter's mind, NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Indiana to cover guys late. That's
You're
all
going to
I'm
take
doing.
Indiana to cover, John? I'm going to take Indiana to win this game. Are y'all crazy? Look at the job this guy is doing.
No, I mean,
Tom Allen's doing a hell of a job in Indiana.
That's still a very bold pick, but
It is a bold pick.
I could see it happening, but it's one of those things, I'm playing it safe. I'm going to go with Ohio State.
I mean, I'm doing pretty good on my picks this year. I picked over 100 wins.
If you get one of those picks
leading.
right,
I think, of course, now this is based off John started at math. That's Bartlett High School math. But, I'm winning right now on the picks. Give me Indiana, guys. Give me Tom Allen. These guys are they're playing football. They're fighting like hell.
They are.
The win at Penn State was a little questionable, but
Turns out Penn State may not be very good at all.
Give me Indiana. Give me Indiana to win that game today.
Wow.
Okay.
If Indiana win that game, that'll let us know they are legit.
Jets.
Oh, yeah.
There's no.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
They have inklings of being legit right now, but we don't know because we don't know if Penn State was really that good. We know.
Are they in the same division as Ohio State?
I want to. Are they? Yeah.
They may meet again if they're not. But
No, watch out
Michigan
for
ain't
Wisconsin.
Michigan, so
yeah,
Pretty much.
Wisconsin's good too, man.
Yeah, Wisconsin is good. Pretty much today, you're going to decide the Big Ten championship between Ohio State and Indiana, and then you got Northwestern going against Wisconsin. Next on my list is a little American Athletic Conference action. The East Carolina Pirates traveling up to Philadelphia to take on Temple and those daggum Owls with their cameras at the field because they're NFL stadium bull crap. Joey called it. I don't care what they say. Give me Temple in this game. East Carolina's a 4-point favorite. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Give me Temple. I think Temple will get the win.
yeah, I'm with you. I think the way Temple always plays Memphis, they always play them hard. For some odd reason, it's like one of the hardest games we have to play. I don't know why. Like we go to Temple and they come here and it's like we can be a 18-point over and we still like we lost to them last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey caught it.
Joey caught it video.
But give me Temple's will. I'm not gonna ever pick East Carolina to win nothing.
Yeah,
No.
it's kind of how I am. You know, somebody's got to win this game, and Temple, East Carolina's favored actually on the road.
Yeah,
but,
they are.
Yeah.
4
But
points.
yeah, I like Temple. Give me Temple.
You know,
They're always
Temple's
a tough team.
Yeah.
You know, they always play Penn State well whenever they play. They're just something about Temple. I like Temple. I'm a fan of what they do down there.
Yeah.
You know, Temple's quarterback has not played since the Memphis game. That's an interesting
Russo
fact
has
going
not
into that
played
game.
since the Memphis game. I did not know that.
And they have not been the same offense ever since, to be honest with you, with the wide receiving crew that they got with the NFL stars in blue and another receiver on top of my head. I forgot his name. But like y'all said, I think Temple's just the better team overall at times. East Carolina's been struggling for years since I still can't get over they fired Ruffin McNeil, but that's a different story for another day. But I'm going to go with Temple just like y'all guys. I think it's at home. You know, playing in an NFL stadium does help. And it's an early kickoff for East Carolina.
John?
Home of the home of David Garrard, if y'all remember him. He played
Yeah.
at
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Definitely do remember David Garrard. He tore Memphis' ass up at East Carolina.
Hell yeah, he threw a 70-yard touchdown pass scrambling off his back foot.
Yeah. On a dime, on a rope. I mean, I'm
On a rope.
David Garrard was one of the most impressive quarterbacks to watch in college. Also a guy that played at UAB. And crap, now his name has
Webb.
Webb.
Why did I know you was gonna say his name? Because he was a big quarterback. He was big like that.
He was a big quarterback,
like
and man,
6'4",
that
250.
guy had a cannon for an arm.
Man, he can throw. Look, we were favored to beat UAB every year we played at UAB, and we didn't beat them not one time I was in college.
No.
That's the game. That's the trap game. That was our trap game every year. We favored to beat UAB. They had Roddy White, and the big quarterback had the name, and they beat us.
It was Webb. I just can't remember what his first name was.
Ronald Webb or something?
Was it Roland Webb?
Or Ronald or something.
Charles Webb.
Anyway, all I know is they had Roddy.
Charles Webb.
They had Roddy White that played for the Falcons, and they had him, and they beat us.
Yeah,
And we
wore
were
us out.
they were like 2 and something. We didn't beat you. I didn't beat UAB not one time my whole college career.
All I remember is Rip Shear. We got roped by UAB.
Yeah.
And then they asked him about his defensive scheme, and I'll never forget. He said he was running a bracket coverage. And my stepdad just looked at me and goes, "What the hell is that?" And I explained it to him. And he said, "Well, they didn't bracket anybody because it just wore us out." Yeah, it was terrible.
That quarterback killed us.
Yeah, Legion Field has not been a friendly place for us.
No,
Nope.
that's not.
Mm-mm.
Could
Not
they
at
get
all.
a new stadium next year?
John, what you got up next, man?
I thought Christian had a game next.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
4-3 Kansas State at 5-2 Iowa State. That's a sneaky game. Sneaky good game. I can see this one being back and forth. Iowa State's favored by 10.5. That's a little high, but I like Iowa State on the road. Both teams have bad losses this year. Iowa State lost to Louisiana Lafayette early in the year, and they turned it around. And also K-State lost to Arkansas State, and they kind of turned things around. So this could be, a big game. Iowa State still has an outside shot at making it to the Big 12 championship. They need this win more than Kansas State. I think they'll play hard today, and I think they'll win. I don't think they'll cover, though. I think it'll be a closer game than 10 points.
Oh, I think Iowa State may win this game big today. I'm a big Matt Campbell fan. I like the guy. He's a good football coach. And I think one of the best running backs in the country, Bryce Hall. If you look at this Bryce Hall back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the real deal for sure.
Oh, yeah, Bryce Hall's the real deal, man. And then, of
He's
course,
the real deal.
You've got Brock Purdy, a great game manager, quarterback. Doesn't really typically make a lot of mistakes with the football. Give me Iowa State to win by at least 21 points today.
Yeah.
I got Iowa State by 14. What about you, Darren?
I got Iowa State by 10.
So right at
Shocking
the 10
Darren
point mark.
with my picks today, y'all.
You are.
Yeah.
All right, John, what you got?
All right, next on my list, we got Justin Fuente, who might be on the way out. If they do not, if they lose this game at Pittsburgh, and Virginia Tech is a 3-point favorite.
John, I don't have this game wrote down on the list today. You must have snuck this one in on.
Nope, sure didn't.
Okay, all right. I like Justin Fuente. I think Fuente is a good football coach. I think Fuente is learning what Jimbo Fisher learned in Florida State, and that is simply it's hard to take over for a legend. It's very difficult to fill those shoes. At a place like Blacksburg, if you win, you're good. But once you start losing, the seat gets hot, and it gets hot fast.
And you can't be average.
Yeah. Give me Virginia Tech to win this game. Saying all that, give me Virginia Tech to win this game today.
Who did Pittsburgh beat? They beat somebody that was really good though.
Oh, yeah.
The only decent team that I thought that was going to be at least a winning program this year was going to be
Pittsburgh
Louisville.
started off the season hot,
Yeah, but they played like Ray Charles University, Helen Keller University, and
they beat somebody good though. They wasn't supposed to beat though. I can't think of who it was.
I'll tell you who it is in a second.
Was it like North Carolina or something?
What was it? North Carolina when North Carolina was ranked like 3rd or 5th or something like that.
Well, they beat Florida State, which is no big deal there. They beat Louisville.
They're not that good.
Beat Syracuse.
No.
They don't really have a big win. Any win for Pittsburgh is pretty big, in my opinion.
True.
They've just been abysmal until this year. They just kind of came out of the woodworks.
They got the.
there.
I'm gonna go with shit. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in the world Pittsburgh wins. I know that. I'm gonna go with Fuentes on this one with VTech, but I think it's gonna be I want to say it's gonna be a blowout. He saves his job with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hokies as well, although they're playing in Heinz Field where the Steelers play, I believe. But I'm going to go with Virginia Tech and to cover the 3. And I think the way they lost to Liberty might just finally be like a wake-up call, hopefully, for the rest of the year for them.
Yeah, before that Florida State win by Pitt, we're on a 4-game losing streak. So maybe a little overrated there. I see Virginia Tech taking care of business today, more riding there's more riding on that game for them than Pittsburgh. I think they'll win by more. They'll win by at least 2 touchdowns.
It's a must-win for both teams, basically, is what I'm going to get at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we've got a great game on the other side of the Big Ten, and that's number 10 Wisconsin traveling to Northwestern to take on the number 19 Wildcats. This is going to be a hell of a football game today. Definite Big Ten style, very just physical. That's what Big Ten does.
Pound and ground and pound.
Oh, yeah, ground and pound all day. Of course, Wisconsin is a good football team. I'm not taking anything from them. But, man, this Northwestern defense this year, fellas, is elite. If you look at Pat Fitzgerald, the guy just finds a way to win at Northwestern, which is impressive. I think if you can sustainably win at Northwestern, you're a good football coach. You need Northwestern to get the win today against.
Wow.
Yeah, they. I like that pick. Wisconsin's actually favored by 7.5, but that sounds like a lot on the road. I'm with you. I just something tells me Northwestern's going to handle business today. It'll be it. I can see this game maybe even being an overtime game. I mean, it's just they're pretty similar teams in their style of play and just smash mouth football, like you said. So Northwestern gets the win and goes to 5-0 today.
This is one of the ones when he sent me the list. This is one of the ones I said. Well, I didn't know at first they were playing until he sent me the list. I said, "Oh, this is a must watch right here. This one is a must watch because, like he said, Northwestern is not typically known for having an elite defense. And I think it's like one of the first time they always have good running backs. This is like one of the first time that I think they have like a really good defense. Like it's really good. So I'm not going to pick them. I like Northwestern, but I'm not picking them. I'm not going with that one. I'm going Wisconsin on this one. I think Wisconsin, grinds it out the end. Like you said, it might be an overtime game, could win by 3. Still go to win.
Yeah.
So you get Northwestern to cover, but Wisconsin win the game?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Badgers. I think, I know they've only played a few games under their belt. I think kind of maybe the COVID-19 might have helped them out a little bit. And I think the Badgers will definitely prevail and win the game by right at 7.5 or 7.
I just feel like we know what we're getting out of Wisconsin. They're kind of more of a proven program. They know how to handle success. Northwestern, I think they can win today, but like I said, they don't normally start off like this, and they usually drop a game usually when they do have success. I just think they'll find a way to win today at home.
All right, Kristen, what you got up next on your list?
Not a sexy game, but I think it's a sneaky good game. Boise State at Hawaii. The Boise State's favored by 12 coming into the game 3-1. And I personally, I'm a Hawaii fan. I just like their mascot. I like just everything about them. It's very unique.
Rainbow?
The Rainbow Warriors.
I've never seen their mascot.
What is a Rainbow Warrior?
What is their mascot? I've never seen a Hawaii mascot on the field.
I just know they're the Rainbow Warriors, but
they throw the ball a lot, though. I know that they do chunk it.
Yeah, I was going to say I like their offense, their style of play on offense. It just feels like, they always have a chance no matter who they play because they like to sling the ball, and they've had some really good quarterbacks there. I'm losing the name.
McDonald was there. They've had some. Yeah,
there was someone before him too, but I can't think of his name. But give me with all that being said, give me Boise State.
So you praise Hawaii the whole time and then curve everybody and go with Boise State. I like that because I'm going to go with Boise State as well. I like Todd Graham, the head coach at Hawaii. Todd Graham does a great job everywhere he goes. I remember back in his Tulsa days, always gave Memphis Fitz a great offensive mind and defensively as well, for that matter. But give me Boise State. I think Boise State's just going to be too strong. And, I mean, you know, who would turn down a free trip to Hawaii to play football?
Oh, I would go to a game. Yeah, I'd love to go to a game there.
Man, what would I? Man. Hell, we had to beat South Florida my senior year. We went to Hawaii for our bowl game instead of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Ended up losing. I was mad, pissed.
Who you got, Hawaii or Boise State?
I'm going with Boise State in this one, and I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think
you think they'll cover the 12? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Boise State wins this by 21 or more. I think
Hawaii going to rack up a lot of useless stats at the end, passing, but as far as the game, it's going to be out of reach by third quarter.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Boise as well. Just because they got more experience on the offense and they got a veteran coach who's been at that place for a long time. Who I'm definitely has surprised that have not. I mean, he used to be at Arkansas State, if I'm not mistaken. Then went on to Boise at one time. But I think he's the right guy for Boise. He's going to be there for a little bit longer than just this year. Boise has more experience on the offense and the defensive line, it seems. And, Boise got 4 games under their belt, so I'm definitely picking Boise.
I think Boise's one of those teams that might be ready to move up conferences.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take an American League.
Yeah, I think they would compete there.
I don't know why the American didn't go grab Boise State when they did this expansion.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my personal opinion. I don't think we should play Temple every year. I don't think we should play South Florida every year. I think if you're Memphis and you're the American Athletic Conference, I think it would be better off bringing in a team like a UAB to the American Athletic Conference and a team like a Boise State. I know geographically it's off. You know, you got to fly out to Boise. But if you look at UAB right now, I mean, Bill Clark is doing a hell of a job down there in Birmingham.
Awesome.
And as a Memphis fan, I would love to get that rivalry going again for that, what is it, the Bones, the Battle of the Bones?
It's the Battle of the Barbecue Bones.
Yeah, Memphis still holds that trophy because I think we won the last game against UAB, if I remember.
Right.
Up, guys, we've got a game that I am excited for. 2 coaches that I think I think this is the South Carolina coach game, to be honest with you. I know John called a while back Hugh Freeze going to South Carolina. I know he is interested in that job from what I've read this week. But App State traveling to Coastal Carolina, I think this is going to be a great game today in the Sun Belt Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Coastal to get the win and keep their winning streak alive today. What you got, man?
Wes, I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina as well, but I think the Appalachian State coach just got there this year, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Look at App State the last few years, though. You had Satterfield, gone. The guy before him, gone. I think this is what App State is becoming, is that stepping stone school.
But Coastal Carolina hasn't been a football team very long, have they?
They've been around for a while.
I think they're just like in like the 1AA back in the day, yeah.
Well, I know ever since they came to Fayetteville one Saturday and almost beat Arkansas, and ever since that game, I'm just like, well, who is this team? Like, and here they are 7-0 now.
Ranked.
Yeah,
they're ranked number 15, I believe. Yeah,
ranked. When I see them ranked, I said, "What? What?"
Exactly.
Right. Think about it, guys.
Maybe in basketball, but not
right
football.
now. With a little bit of help from COVID or a loss here or there,
still impressive.
Climb the ladder. I mean, they're just now coming out with the first playoff list or the playoff ranking this Tuesday. coming up. It's early. I mean, it's still fairly early in the season. Coastal, if they continue to win, they could sneak up there.
Yeah, top 10 maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I was going to say, y'all, I was definitely going with Coastal just because, one, I like their field, one, I like their mascot, and I definitely like their freshman quarterback who's thrown over 1,600 yards this year as well.
Yeah, give me Coastal at home. I was wrong about Coastal. They've been a team since 54.
But I think they're. Yeah,
I don't know where I got that from. I thought.
I think they've only been. I think they were AA for a while.
Oh,
Darren,
okay.
who you got in this one, man?
I'm going with the popular pick with Coastal. I like he said, I like their field. I mean, I don't know much about them, but I definitely like their field, and I look at the stats. And they racked up a lot of stats on as far as on the ESPN app. I looked and I was like, who is it? I had to look. I was like, let me look to see what. I mean, a true freshman quarterback. I mean, I can dig it. I'm going Coastal, but if they look, it's a trap game. Lose, I won't be surprised.
I think it's hard for a lot of people to get excited about teams like this because then you just immediately go to who have they played, but you know, I don't know. It's still intriguing to me that they're ranked.
All right,
That and they're right by the beach.
Yeah.
My next game will be an interesting game, guys. Southern Cal playing at Utah. Utah's first game of the year, and we were just talking about a few minutes ago regarding Southern Cal had some luck on their side the first 2 ball games where they rallied back and came back and won those games to save Clay Helton's job for now, in other words. But a lot of people are seeing Utah in the upset over Southern Cal in that one because it's at Utah and it's a tough place to play at. And Southern Cal has basically been struggling the first 2 ball games. But I'm going to go with Clay Helton and the Southern Cal Trojans, and I think they'll definitely cover the 3 and basically maybe win by 10.
I'm not or go for it. You go first.
Utah's first game. If what I remember correctly about Utah, they're a pretty gritty little football team.
Yeah, they're
Willingham is still there, correct?
Right.
Give me Utah to win this football game against USC.
I like it.
I know I'm picking against spread today. I'm kind of going against my normal routine. Give me Utah to win this game today against USC. I think if USC gets down, it's over with. I don't know that USC can come back again. I just don't know.
I'm not sold on USC yet. I'm just not. They usually are, overhyped every single year. And mentally, they're not where they need to be, in my opinion. I don't think they have what it takes to go on the road and beat Utah. Even though it's, normally it's not going to be a packed stadium, but it's still on the road. It's still a big game. Yeah. Utah had a great season last year, if I remember correctly. I just think Utah is going to find a way to win today. It won't be a blowout. It'll be, I can see them winning this game by a touchdown.
Yeah. Darren, what you got?
I'm going with – I can't go against my old wide receiver coach now. I can't do that. I'm going USC. But I will say this about Utah. Utah is one of the teams that I watch a lot of film on, and I get a lot of plays from that system, like a lot of plays from that system. Like I know people think like, why do you watch Utah? How do you even watch Utah? But they have a very similar offense than what we run at Milton. So I watch a lot of like them in Tennessee, even though I'm not a Tennessee fan. I watch a lot of their offense because their offense are so similar to each other.
Yeah. And
I get a lot of pointers from both of those teams. So I like Utah's offense, but I can't go with my guy Clay Helton. That's my guy.
I was going to say also, if Southern Cal does get rid of Clay Helton in the long run, I think their next coach is going to be in their offense coordinator, Graham Harrell. He turned the North Texas. He turned the North Texas offense around when he was at North Texas, and I definitely think he could be the next head coach at Southern Cal. if they do get rid of Clay Helton. What are you saying, Wes?
Wes was gone for a second.
Yeah, I just had to walk away for a second. Yeah, John, I think that Utah's. I think they're a good football team. I think you can't take anything from them. What you got next, John, on your list? Oh no, Chris.
It's Christian, yeah.
On paper, this isn't an exciting game, but 2-4 Mississippi State at 4-2 Georgia. Georgia favored by 25. That's a lot of points, especially, Georgia starting JT Daniels today. Kind of don't really know what to expect out of him. We know he played at USC. We know he's got that experience behind him. But for some reason, Kirby Smart didn't think he was good enough to start this year over Stetson Bennett and that DeJuan Mathis kid. Battle of the Bulldogs. I think Georgia comes out on top, but give me Georgia by 21 points.
Yeah, Mississippi State's.
They're bad.
Dangerous right now.
But do y'all remember the season how everybody thought Mississippi State was going to be like top 5?
Yeah.
Well, after that LSU game, it's like, dang, they may have the offense. That air raid may work, but then Arkansas shut that down quick.
They're not very good.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I was excited about the Mike Leach hire. I still am. I think it's a good hire by Mississippi State. I think it's going to take a while to get that program to where he wants it. The fans have expectations. I get that. All fans have expectations. But if you're a Mississippi State fan and you're ringing that damn annoying ass cowbell, you got to give him some time. That air raid offense is a very, very tricky offense. It's very, as you well know, there's a lot of nuances that a lot of people don't understand about that offense. Colin Hill leaving is honestly not that surprising. Don't understand why they didn't use him more in that offense. I mean, it's a dip and dunk offense all the way down the field. Why not put him in the slot? Put him in different positions to make plays. Georgia's going to get the win today. JT Daniels, we've all wanted to see him. John, I know you're itching to talk about this game, so you can talk about your Bulldogs down there in Georgia. But give me Georgia to win this game today. I'm really looking forward to JT Daniels and seeing how he plays.
If he comes in and lights it up, isn't that going to make Kirby look bad?
So who do you get to cover, anyway. Wes, who do you get to cover?
Huh?
Who do you get to cover in that game since it's 25 points?
Give me Georgia to cover.
I'm with you. Give me Georgia to cover.
I think, Mississippi State just got too many players that are either transferring or optioning out with COVID, and too many problems right now. But I think like we talked about, I think Daniels was kind of maybe scared to play with his knee and see what could happen, as well. But I do think Georgia could probably win this game by running the football and passing the football pretty well today. I really do. And to definitely cover.
Yourself out in the camera there, Darren.
Give me like I said, give me Georgia definitely to cover. Definitely. Mississippi. No. We thought that air raid, like he said, that air raid offense is very tricky though. But when you stop it, you can stop it easily though.
Yeah.
Easily you can stop it. Once you can stop it, you have
There's a formula for it for sure.
Yeah, you have nothing else to go to once you stop it.
Up next, guys, we've got what I think is going to be a great game today in the Big 12. Big rivalry game up in Norman, Oklahoma today. You got Bedlam going on today, fellas. Number 14, Oklahoma State, traveling to Oklahoma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners today, number 18 in the country. Oklahoma's a 7-point favorite. This game is going to be interesting. Give me Oklahoma to win this game today by more than 7.
I like it. it will be a very good game. Oklahoma, I think there's no way they make the playoff this year with 2 losses, but they got a chance to spoil, maybe Oklahoma State's season. But even if Oklahoma State loses and they win out, then they're still into the discussion. It's a big game regardless. Oklahoma State has a big chance here to set themselves apart from everybody in the conference. If they win today, they're on the driver's seat for a Big 12 championship.
I completely agree. I think Oklahoma right now is the best team in the Big 12.
Yeah, and I think those 2 losses Oklahoma have are a little bit misleading. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they were bad losses. What was it? One was to Kansas State, and I can't remember who
Iowa
they
State.
Iowa State?
Yeah, I think it was Campbell, yeah.
Yeah. Typically they drop a game they shouldn't, but I think that they've kind of righted that ship and they've turned things around, and I like Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma to win, but Oklahoma State could still win the conference if they win today, if they lose today. But Oklahoma, I don't see them dropping this game. Give me the Sooners.
John, who you got in this one, man?
I'm going to go with Darren can go ahead. Sorry.
I like Oklahoma State's offense. I've always liked their offense. They always have a good, they always have top 5 receiver every year. Every year they have a top 5 receiver, but I think Oklahoma wins this one. I still like Rattler.
Yeah.
I still like him. I think he's a legit talent. I'm definitely going with Oklahoma, and I think they can be the only 2-loss team to actually make it to the playoffs. I do.
I'm going to go with a not so fast, my friends. I'm going to pick Oklahoma State straight up to win this ball game.
It'd have been down.
You're taking the today, John? You're going to take the bullet over Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking, Oklahoma State definitely has a good running back.
Chuba.
And I think the games will come down to who can get off the field on 3rd down conversions. And I
can
think
see a lot
Oklahoma
of
State,
points today.
I see the over and under probably like an 80.
Yeah.
But,
this is typically a shootout.
I'm definitely going to pick Oklahoma State, though, to cover and win the ball game.
All right. Let's see.
Oklahoma State over Oklahoma, that's a bold pick.
Christian, who you got next, man?
Got 3 games left on my list. Penn State on the road at Iowa. They're actually favored in this one, which really surprises me. I wouldn't pick them to beat anybody right now.
Was it like a 5-point game or something?
It's a 1.5.
Yeah, I knew it had to be 1.5.
Yep.
But I said the same thing last week. This is like Penn State has to win this game. Same thing holds true today, but I don't know if it's enough to save the job. I don't know. But I think Iowa wins today. I think Penn State is it's unraveling there in Happy Valley.
Yeah, give me Iowa to win this game today. It may be by 3, but give me Iowa.
I see a 15-12 type ball game, and Iowa's definitely going to win.
No, he said 15-12. I see 17-14 Penn State.
Oh, not so fast, my friend. Okay. All righty. He finally got one in. All right.
There we go. I can't go against Penn State on this right. They're not there. Like I said, like you said, it like it's unraveling, but
it does.
I just
There's
can't.
There's still a lot of talent on that team.
It is a lot of talent, but Iowa will lull you to sleep with their type of offense.
Yeah.
And it's a tight end type, fullback, straight edge type offense, kind of like Wisconsin. And they breed offensive linemen, but I think Penn State got more athletes, and I think It'll be Penn State definitely. And I think I'm gonna say this: they're gonna win by more than 10.
But is it enough to save his job?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I think with COVID,
Or do you think he'll keep his job regardless? He may.
he has a little leeway with COVID. I think he can lean back on COVID and say COVID, is a reason for the season they're having. So
this was a very unexpected year for him. He's had success there, unlike Harbaugh. Harbaugh's had success at Michigan, but
can't beat the Big Ten. The big
can't
game.
win the Big Ten.
Can't win the Big Ten. You can't win the Big Ten, they're gonna get rid of you at Michigan.
Yep. John, what you got next, man?
The next game I got is good old Hugh Freeze. Could it make it 8-9 in a row and play NC State at NC State? And NC State's actually a 2.5-point favorite in that game. I think Liberty is ranked for a reason. I like their offense. I mean, they run, they pass, they do everything right. I think Hugh Freeze is going to pull it off tonight or this morning or this afternoon. And I think Liberty wins by like 10.
Yeah, I agree. Get out your brooms. Hugh Freeze is going to sweep the ACC today. I think Liberty will beat NC State by at least 14 points today. Give me Liberty with the win. And we got a person on our Facebook that says Liberty with the win and Hugh Freeze goes to South Carolina. We'll see.
I called it last week.
You did. You did. You called it on the show last week. I think Hugh Freeze is doing a hell of a job at Liberty. For them to be an independent and be ranked number 21 in the country Hugh Freeze was on a XM radio show this week, and he said point blank, hey, when we became ranked, I told every player on our team, take a picture of that.
Didn't he just sound like a 6-year contract, though?
He did do an extension. I don't know exactly what the parameters of that contract are, but I like Hugh Freeze. Did he make some mistakes down in Oxford? Yeah, he did. But he's done a heck of a job rejuvenating his career at Liberty. Give me Liberty big.
Give me Liberty or give me death.
Give me Liberty or give me death. I'm going Liberty as well. I'm a Hugh Freeze fan. I like Hugh Freeze when he was at Lambeth. So I've always liked his system. I've always liked the way his defenses are constructed. I've always liked how he's a defensive-minded coach with a great offensive mind as well.
Yeah.
So with that said, I love what he's doing at Liberty. I love like you said, he made mistakes, and to go down to a Liberty and resurrect his career like he had. The only time we heard about Liberty was when Seth Curry went to Liberty.
Yeah.
That was the only time we really heard about Liberty. And then he transferred to Duke after that, so we didn't hear much about Liberty. But to go to an independent and be 9-0 and ranked 21 is impressive. But I think North Carolina State will give them a great run. What's the spread on this one?
2.5 at NC State.
Yeah, give me Liberty. But I think NC State makes it it's going to be a hard game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at NC State last week, they gave Miami fits. They gave Miami all they wanted.
Yeah,
and I think they should have won that game, to be honest.
Someone's telling me NC State's going to win.
Okay. All right. So you're not taking Liberty, or are you taking Liberty?
I'm taking NC State today. Okay. I just think, they've shown up in games this year. They didn't beat Miami, but they were very close to beating Miami. We might be having a different conversation about NC State this year. Part of me is like, man, is Liberty that good? But they did beat Virginia Tech last week. So there's something to this Liberty team. Give me NC State on the road to cover. Or
bold pick.
Bold pick.
Bold pick there. Very bold pick. All right, John, I'm sorry, Christian, what you got next?
I got Arizona at Washington. Arizona coming off of a tough loss against USC last week. Could have won that game. Fell short. Washington in here at 1-0 after a 27-21 win against Oregon State. This one's tough. This one's tough. I think Arizona finds a way to win on the road.
Win or cover?
Win. What's the spread?
11 and a half.
11 and a half by who?
Ooh, that's a
Washington.
lot. Washington's favored by 11?
Yep. Yeah.
Dang. That's how much we
I
don't
think
care.
Arizona covers, but they don't win.
Give me UW. Give me Washington to get the win. I don't think they cover because that's a lot of points. But give me UW to get the win.
I got Washington to cover and win the game.
Well, I ain't following that boat. I'm gonna go with Washington to win, but I don't think they cover though. That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points.
That's another coach on the hot seat in Kevin Sumlin.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
We really just don't care about Pac-12 football like we used to.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's hard to
We
get.
don't. If it ain't Oregon, USC,
Even
maybe.
Oregon, it's hard to get excited about Oregon sometimes. Even
Yeah, we don't really care about Pac-12 football.
I miss the Joe Harrington days, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We've got what I think is going to be just a snoozer of a game today. Michigan, those damn Wolverines, traveling to Greg Schiano's Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I said it last week. Greg Schiano is their Scarlet Knight. Give me Rutgers to get the win, and Jim Harbaugh will be fired by the end of the day.
yeah, you're right. If he loses today, he's done.
He's already done.
And Michigan is a 7.5-point favorite.
I don't
He's
care.
done.
Give me Rutgers with the win. Harbaugh's done.
Yeah. I'm not following that boat. I'm not going against my one of my favorite coaches in college football right now. I'm not doing that. So give me Michigan. Do they cover the spread? Yeah, they cover the spread.
I don't like to see anyone get fired, but I'm kind of like a lot of Michigan fans. It's just they're ready to move on. Get somebody in there that can turn this program around. I mean, the word Michigan and snoozer, I never thought that would be in the same. I thought Michigan would always be exciting to watch, but you're right, Wes. I'm not excited at all to watch Michigan play now.
No.
I mean, yeah. So, the hopeful in me is like saying Harbaugh wins this game, but I like what Rutgers is doing. They're not going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat today. I think Rutgers pulls off the upset, and that's the end of Harbaugh. He gets fired today.
Is it an upset? Is it an upset? In this season, is Rutgers beating Michigan an upset?
I think it still is, but
Yeah.
maybe, not as big as it usually is. Would be in the past. Rutgers this year, let's be honest, they've been awful until this year. They've been awful.
Terrible.
They didn't win a game at one time.
Nope.
No.
I got a question for you guys though. Harbaugh get fired, then what? Where's he going next?
Urban Meyer.
No, he's at where's Harbaugh going?
Oh, where is
He's
Harbaugh
probably
going
going.
next?
Yeah. Where's Harbaugh going? Back to the NFL? He's staying in college.
Cowboys.
No,
I don't know.
Or you think so or hope so?
he may
I
be
don't know.
done as a
Cowboy fan,
coach.
but,
He may go to high school after this.
I could see a South Carolina going after a Jim Harbaugh. I could see.
What about a Tennessee? Nah.
I could see a Texas getting rid of Herman and possibly reaching out.
I can
What
see
about
it.
Memphis?
No, come on, stop.
We don't.
Do what, Darren?
We don't
Go
have
to
enough.
Memphis.
We can't pay that. We can't pay that salary. Nope. I don't think South Carolina has if he goes to South Carolina, he's going somewhere where he's already behind as far as recruitment. Like that market's too hard. It's too hard to recruit to anybody come to South Carolina against Alabama, LSU, Georgia. You're like a stepchild. So I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't take South Carolina job at all unless South Carolina moves to the ACC. Ain't no way in the world.
Yeah.
Because
It's going to be tough to turn them around.
Yeah, that's rough. That's like going to Missouri and think he's going to turn it around. It's going to be hard. I do like him going to Texas, though. I do. I really do. Because I think that is a great market for him. Get away from Ohio State because they killing him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the thing with Harbaugh is he's got to get away. Because if you're at Texas, okay, you got to beat Oklahoma. Okay, yeah. Well, if you're at Texas, you've got the funding. You've definitely got the money.
Yeah, definitely money.
You've got everything. You've got the facilities. You've got everything you need, and you've got a hotbed of football talent. Not saying there's not in Michigan. I know there is, but it's not like Texas, as we know.
Nothing.
I think if you're Jim Harbaugh, you
got a lot of teams to compete with though in the state of Texas.
He does, but and then Nathan Wilson, one of our listeners, has a good point. Could you see Jim Harbaugh maybe becoming like a Steve Sarkisian and going to Alabama as a analysis or an analyst, whatever the crap Saban hires all these former coaches for? I think that's me personally. I think that would be conflicting analysis or an analyst, whatever the crap Saban hires all these former coaches for. I think that's me personally. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's going to be very, very interesting.
He could join his brother at Baltimore. You never know.
No, I got a better one for you. I think the Jets are gonna look at him. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think I can see him going to the Jets.
You think he'll go back to the NFL?
And this is going to sound crazy. What about Dabo Swinney going to the Jets and following Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah. I mean, even though he keeps saying he don't want to make the jump though, like he don't want to go to the NFL.
They all say that.
But I think that's what you got to say. Is protect. You got to protect your job right now. You got to say it. That's just the right thing to say. But I can see him going to the Jets in that market and still getting hit over the head with a club.
Here's what I think. Kind of like Saban. Once you get to the NFL, you don't have as much control over those players.
No, you don't. It's not. No. It's different.
They're making more money than you. They're just. It's not the same. So I think Dabo is probably going to stay at Clemson, or I could see him actually even going to Bama when Saban leaves, whenever that is. But I just don't think. I think he's a college coach. I think
and he's had the best team in college football for the last 5-6 years. One of the best teams. There's no reason for him to leave right now.
LSU Arkansas is kicking off. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not going to say I'm not going to be surprised if it goes to the Falcons though.
All right, John, what you got up next?
By the way, I got Rutgers to cover. By the way, with Michigan, All right, good old Rocky Top traveling to Auburn. A must win for Tennessee at Auburn.
You can just stop talking about it. Everybody's taking Auburn.
Auburn's going to win. There's no doubt.
Everybody's taking Auburn. Tennessee can't even get an score touchdown.
All right. Next game, Missouri at South Carolina. I mean,
give me Missouri.
Missouri is a 4.5 point favorite.
I don't know. This game is just blah.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this game.
I care because I chose it. No, I'm kidding.
Give me Missouri in that one. Up next, Christian.
Yep.
No, this is technically a game on your list. We got a game that's getting ready to kick off up in Fayetteville on the Hill today. The Arkansas Razorbacks taking on the LSU Tigers. The battle for the Golden Boot.
Bring it back. Bring it back is all I can say. Bring the boot back.
This is going to be a hell of a football game this morning, guys. Arkansas to get the win today. I picked them preseason, prior to everything going crazy. I picked Arkansas to beat LSU this year. I stand by my word. I'm a man of my word. Give me the pick today to knock off LSU.
A game in which the line has changed like a million times.
Arkansas is actually now favored in this game.
Yeah, which I kind of like the underdog role better. I don't know how Arkansas will handle being favored, but like I said, the homer in me I like the way it's two programs that just seem to be going in opposite directions right now. Arkansas's on the rise and LSU's kind of taking a step back.
Yeah.
Give me Arkansas to win, but I can see this LSU team putting up a lot of points today. Arkansas is going to have to bring it offensively.
The over and under is actually at that game is at 63, and I think it's going to be at the under. I think it's going to be like a 27, maybe 10 ball game, maybe. I still think Arkansas is going to score some points. I think LSU is going to have a struggle on the offense still. I think Arkansas's defense is going to come alive a little bit under. By the way, is we for sure who's coaching that ball game yet or no?
Pittman.
Pittman will be on the sideline.
What we don't know is who's playing for Arkansas, but we'll figure. We'll see here in five minutes whenever they.
Yeah, Arkansas for sure. I'll say Arkansas by 27-10 type ball game.
Yeah, I say Arkansas because I think LSU is just tucking their tail right now and just letting this season be. I think Arkansas wins, but I think it'll be a closer game than everybody thinks. I think it'll be Arkansas by maybe 7.
I say Arkansas by 14.
I think Arkansas will come out with the win today. I'm going to say 27-17.
I like it.
Next, John, the game of the day for Memphis fans. It's kicking off on ESPN plus now. Memphis is taking on Stephen F. Austin. I expect to see backups in the game.
Fireworks.
If there's not backup, if Brady White's still in this game after halftime, I'm calling Silverfield's cell phone. I will Google it, I will find the damn number, and I'll call him. Because there's no reason Brady White should be on the field after halftime in this game. Memphis should obliterate Stephen F. Austin today. If we don't put 60 on him, I'm going to be upset. And that's including with the backups. I want to see who our other quarterback is on our team. I want to see other running backs, like a Kylan Granberry that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I want to see this defense finally shut up and shut somebody down. Memphis should get the win easily today, guys.
Yeah, I like Memphis today to beat. Who are they playing again?
Stephen F. Austin.
Exactly, Stephen F.
6-3, Stephen F. Austin, which you look at records that you're like maybe this might be a trap game for Memphis. They'll have to show up for sure. They're not going to, you don't want to underestimate Stephen F. Austin, but I think Memphis shows up and wins big.
Like you said, Wes, I think we should see the second string and the third string running backs, or the second string in general, basically come in the second half against Stephen F. Austin, especially when you got now technically a tough game now at Navy since they revised the AAC schedule, the remaining 3 games at Navy and then at Tulane, and then you got Houston, and then Houston now, then the season. It's hard to believe that we're almost the last week of November. But anyway,
it really is.
Yeah, I want to see Asia Martin actually get some more carries as well in that game as well. I think Memphis hopefully will definitely pull off maybe like a 52-17 type ball game.
Yeah,
Arkansas goes 3 and out.
Yep.
First.
I want to see Memphis. I want to see Memphis win big. I don't want it to be a field goal game starting up early because it seemed like we always start off it'd be a field goal back and forth game at first. I want to see touchdowns by the Tigers. I want to see the offense open up. I want to stop seeing so many screen passes. Throw the ball down the field. Let Brady White open them up in the first half and sit them down in the second. That's how I feel about it. I think it'd be a 49. We can't stop nobody, so obviously it'd be 49-21.
All right, fellas. Well, we have had another great show today. Christian, John, once again, amazing job. Big thanks to Mr. Darren Garcia. Man, you were an amazing guest today. We will definitely have you back on later on down the line anytime you're willing to be on. Of course, depending on your schedule and all that. Darren, thank you very much for picking games with us this morning.
No problem.
Guys, we got some great games on. We got LSU, Arkansas on right now. Coastal Carolina's on right now as well. Memphis is on ESPN plus against Stephen F. Austin. Darren, thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem. You guys have a good one.
See ya.
Enjoy.